Hi students, welcome to the last unit of your course. We're almost done, and that means we'll be continuing to move through time the way that we've been done for the whole course. As we've finished up with the classic period, focusing on three of the very largest and best investigated empires and urban societies. We'll be moving to that transitional period of collapse and then reformation of significant political zones, emerging cultures, and some of the materials that you were already pretty familiar with before we started the class. So as we pick up, we'll be taking a look at what happens to the southern lowlands area, that is the classic Maya area, and that causes the abandonment and violent destruction of some of those very large and fabulous cities. It also results in a changeover in the type of government style. We don't see the dominance of hereditary royalty, therefore we don't see the fabulousness of courtly life any longer. Writing becomes less of an impact. While they are still writing, there aren't as many inscriptions and so on and so forth. So we'll start that unit by taking a look at collapse. On Canvas, you will be looking at a link to go out to a series of shorter segments of what was originally a longer video. It just isn't posted in its continuous entirety. It's just in 6 chapters there. That is called Quest for the Ancient Maya. We are no longer needing to call them the mysterious Maya anymore, and we really don't need to be talking about the collapse as something that is tremendously not understood. For those of you that are wanting always to link what you learn in college with things that have a modern impact, this is a very good time in the course as well, because this is the transitional time that leads to the more current ancestry of the millions of people that still speak Maya languages and dialects and are the descendants of this, and 2, we have very, very good climatic data that is linked directly to issues of climate change, in particular in this zone, drought, but also overuse of the landscape. So we'll have that. As that wraps up and we see that there are power vacuums in the Maya area, movement of huge numbers of people to areas where they can make a better living and a better style of life for their family and for themselves, with the fall and destruction of Teotihuacan in the north, and Monte Alban in sort of that center area of the modern state of Oaxaca, and then in the southern Maya lowlands. Then we'll go to taking a look at the early post-classic. In this case, what is really, really interesting, and particularly for those of you who are very interested in art, architecture, and stylistic and visual aspects of this, is we begin to see that there's a merge of these really signature styles as artists leave where they were living and move into new cities, whether it's voluntary or involuntary, it's probably both, new trade routes and new inspirations. We also see the emergence of certain deities that were probably not the dominant deities during the classic period, but which emerge as dominant figures at that point. As we wrap through that, we will take a look at some of the areas that also have some of the best preserved archaeology of the zone. We'll take a little interim and take a look at finally the ball game in detail and try to give you a little better idea of what's going on regionally. It is certainly not exactly the same game in every area. It's not attached to the same mythology in every single area. And then we'll finish up with the Mexica. Rather than focusing on Mexica life at the time of conquest, what we're going to take a look at everything up leading to conquest. So I'll have a better investigation of the layout of the city, the trade patterns, social classes, and a number of the other really awesome visual things that we have for that particular unit. So very excited to be working through this with you. I'm still building some parts of your Canvas class, because I'm always building parts of the Canvas class as new data becomes available or things disappear and I have to find new stuff. So some of those pages will be not open immediately, but you can right away begin taking a look at collapse. All right, thanks very much.